Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years.
This is my recap and reaction to Sister Wives Season 17, Episode 10, called The Knife in the Kidneys. The episode starts where we left off last episode, which is in a messy conversation on Christine's front porch. And at the end of this scene on the porch, Kody goes unhinged and calls Christine Pod Piper. And Christine tells Robin she needs space from her. Also in this episode, Janelle gives insight into why it doesn't really make sense for her to leave financially right now, which was very interesting. So here we go, episode 10. Christine tells Mary, Christine, Robin, and Kody that a year ago when she looked at hers and Kody's relationship, she realized she couldn't stay, and it wasn't a relationship she would wish on any of her friends. So upon hearing this, Kody decides to call her out about the fact that she had said she didn't want to be married to him anymore, like a few seasons back in a scene with Mary. This is actually kind of a flashback for Sister Wives fans. Do you guys remember the season finale where Christine had stormed off of a conversation when they all turned her down for moving to Utah? Mary had actually tried to comfort Christine in that moment. She told her, "Look at the mountains, Christine." And Christine had kind of said, "I don't want to do marriage with Kody anymore." I'll actually link to that recap episode in the description so you guys can know what I'm talking about. Anyways, at the time, Christine thought Kody was totally Team Utah, and it really seemed to hurt her that he quickly changed his mind in front of the other wives. Robin is like, "Were you open to moving to Utah, Kody?" And he said, "I didn't want to move. I like the idea of moving to Utah, but I don't like the idea of moving." So a bit confusing. So, the act of moving, it's terrible. So just hire movers or something. I don't know. Anyways, I don't really know what he meant by that. Christine says he seemed like giddy about Utah, and Kody's like, no, no, no. So they kind of remember things differently, but viewers will remember a televised call where he did kind of seem excited at the prospect of Utah. I think that's my opinion. Anyways, then Kody completely does a 180 and starts to talk about how her mantra was that she wanted the family, not just the man. But that, in his words, it became about the man and not about the family. Everyone watching at this point is probably rolling their eyes, so Christine was not supposed to have an expectation that she would also have a good husband. She didn't say she wanted the family and no man. The family means also the man, so it doesn't really make sense. And then he says, "I thank you for coming into the family to get me out of the mess I was in." Basically meaning the mess between Janelle and Mary way back in the day when things were bad between them. And Mary, at this point, they kind of zoom in on her and she closes her eyes because that's kind of a shot at her. She says that stings. She says that her and Janelle were, at the time, really not mature when they were just, two wives with Kody. They were really, really young, and that Christine was kind of brought in to save the day. But is it really necessary to go back down that memory lane right now? Mary looked hurt, but she seems to remain Kody's number one fan along with Robin throughout this whole conversation. Anyways, Kody goes on to say, "I thank you for ripping the Band-Aid. It would have never worked if it was all about me and not about the family." And that's kind of unfair. Anyways, Janelle says what we're all thinking. That's kind of a low blow. Christine was about the family, about the kids. Kody says, "You came into our lives. You did us a favor. Now you're leaving. And I feel that's a favor too." And that's pretty bad. But you hear this, noise. And I can't tell who made the noise. But I think it might be Robin, actually, because she starts making facial expressions, like she's super upset at this point. She almost can't believe that he said that. Robin in her confessional says she believes in miracles, and some people do get close to divorce but then don't. But who would want to be with a man that says, "You're doing us a favor by leaving"? And Robin has been divorced. She knows, that there comes a time where it's just broken and you have to go. So there's kind of like, I don't know why she doesn't really connect with Christine on this. Kody, after his long-winded comments, says, "Soak in that. Soak in that." So she's supposed to just not reply, no rebuttal. And Janelle immediately says in her confessional, who is this patriarchal guy? Honestly. Kody in his confessional says he feels pretty angry and feels like after all that he's done, he's being rejected anyway. And it's also rejection for some of his kids and some of his wives, so it makes him angry. Then Kody asks if Christine has been talking to the adult kids because his relationships with them are off. Kody actually thinks that Christine is running her mouth with the older kids, basically, but I'm pretty sure the kids' issue was the whole rules thing around the virus and always being at Robin's. So, has he talked to them and communicated, about what the problem is? He says he feels like an investor that poured everything he had into something and it just didn't work. He keeps talking about investments when it comes to Christine. It's kind of weird, we're not at the bank right now. I don't know about this metaphor, but I understand what he's saying, but it comes off very weird with the whole investments thing. Kody calls out Mary and the others who are not talking too much in this conversation, and Robin is like, "I'm struggling today. I'll do better another day." So Robin, she's been crying for the whole time. Robin says, though, that she does have a question. And then she asks Christine if Christine is still interested in working things out and to spend time with people in the family she's not as close to, i.e. her and her kids, which is a legit question. And Christine says, "For right now, I need space," which I also understand. And she says, Christine says she's close to Janelle, but not to the other adults, and she'd like to leave it that way for now. And Robin's face is shocked or something, like someone took her teddy bear, I don't know. But yeah, Mary's like, "Well, I may as well stand up and leave. Why am I here?" And this is where Kody jumps in and makes everything worse. This is what really angered Kody ultimately, and I think that it's because he saw that Robin's feelings were hurt in that moment. So he says, that Christine has treated Robin like dirt for years, and now it's next level Kody. He's about to lose it. He gets up and gets to where the camera can kind of see him. And I swear I've seen this portion of the conversation a million times. It was in all the previews. Kody says he's pissed off because Christine hasn't tried to have good relationships with these people. He says, "Man, like a knife in the kidney after all these years. The sacrifices I made to love you. Wasted." He goes into how, she's taking the kids away. She's Pod Piper. So I had no idea of this pop culture reference, so I just had to Google Pod Piper. And apparently he was a pipe-playing rat catcher who took away the town's children as an act of revenge when not paid his dues. Which is interesting. So Kody then ends it with how he's struggling to find the silver lining, but that he hopes it's a blessing, and just walks away, leaves the scene dramatically. And Janelle says, "I'm not trying to take sides, but I felt like Kody was really harsh." So she goes over and hugs Christine immediately, which was nice. I appreciate this, women lifting women up thing. Mary and Robin are just kind of sitting there meanwhile, awkwardly, and in her confessional, I was shocked by this. I was so shocked by this, but Mary says she's happy that Kody said those things. Okay, Mary, savage, Mary is so loyal to Kody at all times. Robin says, "I just want to make sure you still want to stay distant with the people you're not close to?" And Christine nods, and then Robin just gets up and says, "Sorry to see you go." And she walks away with Mary. Mary doesn't even say anything as she walks away, and she has, so much more of a history with Christine and Janelle. As the first wife, I think she was kind of like the one who would probably bring the other wives in, right? So, I don't know, but that's pretty sad. Robin and Mary then hug and cry in the driveway. And, okay, now we're done with this scene, and hopefully no more previews about it. Anyways, so a week later, Kody goes to see Janelle at her trailer. Janelle's more determined than ever now to move forward on Coyote Pass. She says all her eggs are all in this basket. And she keeps kind of talking about this so urgently, knowing that they haven't paid off the property, so they can't do anything. But Janelle's ultimate goal is to have a house built before Savannah starts her senior year, which, by the way, she must be in currently. And so, unfortunately, I think that means she didn't meet that goal. Then, Janelle actually says something interesting and very revealing. I know a lot of people are wondering, why Janelle didn't leave too. Anyway, she says she never bought a house in Flagstaff like Robin and Christine did, and so she has no asset like Christine. So if she were to leave as a single woman, she would have nothing because everything else has everyone else's name on it too. And oh my gosh, Janelle says that she gave half the proceeds from her house in Vegas to Robin to buy her house, and that the rest of the money for that was pooled family money as well. And now, rightfully so, Janelle is kind of wondering, where's that treatment for me? Where's my house? She gave her money to Robin and now lives in a trailer. So, justice for Janelle. Honestly, Janelle also deserves a house. So, beyond that, as I'm still thinking about that, now there's this light scene at the end of the episode. It's Ariella's first day of kindergarten, and honestly, it's cute, and it looks like this is the last brown child, or Cody's child, to start kindergarten out of 18 kids. So Kody says he just wants to cherish it. And next week looks like it's the big goodbye, and McKelty will be in town. It looks like lots of tears, so yay! Anyways, guys, thanks so much for listening the whole way through. For whoever's still here, I appreciate you. Definitely like this video and comment and let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Bye, guys!